they keep going in deeper. They come in and now lose the beam stuns. They're going in deeper, Alliance. All the heroes have moved to EG. Cloud9 after a second failed buyback attempt to hold the Roshan. Lose the game to Alliance. Welcome back to the ASUS ROG Dreamleague Season 2. I'm Luminous, as you're always your host. And of course, joining me today is just Andy. Just Andy.
I like the prelude, just me.
Yeah.
I feel like such a letdown now.
No, like you're like a special candidate just on your own.
You didn't make it sound that way.
No, I didn't.
We got to work on your word choice.
As always, yeah. Okay, so we only have one game today.
Well,
that's why
actually,
we don't
have
have
3 games.
Yeah.
We have one matchup.
One matchup today, and that's why we just have the two of us.
Just the two
of us. I think we actually could just go quickly and look at both teams, and as we're talking about teams, we could talk about what's going on.
Sure.
Yeah, Cloud9 is going to be one of the participants, and Fata, Bone7, Aoi, and Paladai.
You didn't actually say that it was Cloud9 versus EG. Usually you say it's Cloud9 versus EG, take a look at Cloud9, and we can take a look at EG
You should host.
No, it's fine. It's just like, usually there's like some ebb and flow to it.
I see.
But you're kind of just like,
there's just no flow today.
No, but it's good that way because it makes the people watching, they're excited because they don't know what's going to happen next.
Because I don't even know what's going to happen.
Production just saying like, what is he doing? Was he going to go here now? It makes it fun for everyone involved.
Thank you for saving me. We have Fear, RTZ, Universe, Zai, and PPD. You could say that EG is arguably the best Western team right now?
I would say they are.
Okay, so just ranking the Western team, where would you put Cloud9?
Probably second or third.
Okay, that's pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, they're king of second place, right? So, I mean, it's only fair to put them in second place.
They haven't got a second place recently, though.
Okay, so they placed, what was it, fourth or something like that?
Third, I think.
Was it third or fourth?
Yeah, third. Secret number 1, EG.
That was Star Ladder, yeah.
Star Ladder, yeah.
But, I mean, to be fair, I feel like they didn't really bring their best game.
No.
Like, if we're talking solely.
Well, they had to play with Mag.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Bone7 got sent home because he had kidney stones, actually.
Drink up of your liquids.
Well, drink water.
Yes.
And don't drink like nothing but soda and eat salty food.
Oh, really? But it has water content in it.
It does, but
more
it's
salt
like,
than water?
Some people don't metabolize it as well, I guess, and it just turns into bad things.
By the way, since I haven't said anything about it, this is the American division of the Dreamleague.
It is. I'm sure people probably have figured that out by now.
Although Cloud9 is not an American team.
They're American.
They consider us
USA.
American. So apart from Cloud9 and EG, we have Sneaky Nyx Assassin, as well as Complexity, and we'll be seeing them in the coming days.
Tomorrow, I think we're actually going to be seeing everyone, as far as I know.
Yes.
I think we'll actually have 2 matchups for them, so we'll actually get to have 2 streams, and everyone will be back.
Also, to remind you guys, we have not finished the Europe West Division yet. Alliance Tinker and 4 Anchors and a Sea Captain still have to play the remaining match, so we still don't know who qualifies.
Right. So basically, I have a feeling those are going to be played offline, I'm assuming, because scheduling-wise, it's going to be really hard to fit those games in, because this is the last week, right? And then we have a 2-week break, and then we have the 10-day LAN, or 7-day. I don't remember how many.
Maybe we'll come in on Thursday and cast more matches.
Could be.
I think. I don't know.
Could be. But we're just waiting on both teams right now. Again, it's going to be Cloud9 taking on EG. In this particular matchup, I would still say that I favor EG.
Sure.
I mean, it seems like they're one of the more stable teams, which is crazy to say because like a year or two ago, you would have said EG is like one of the most unstable teams. But nowadays, it seems like they basically just always perform well.
I think PPD and Zai being added to the roster really stabilized it because I think EG never really lacked in terms of star power. An individual player like Fear Universe was part of the OEG. You had Boba at one point, and you had Korok, I believe. No, was Korok there?
I don't think Korok was ever on EG.
Who was their mid after Boba?
Good question.
TI2 was Boba.
I don't remember. Why don't I remember? My brain's not working today, Lee.
You could tweet us.
You could tweet us, actually, at DreamHack Dreamleague, right? DH
Dreamleague. Yes. I think production was trying to bail us out, but I didn't even hear him.
I didn't hear anything at all. I don't, like, my in-ears.
I got a special in-ear.
Yeah, okay. They're just sending it
just for me.
But
MSS and JO.
MSS? Yeah, JO, that's right, because he always played TA. That was when, like, the era of TA when he was, or she was really, really popular. And people were still picking heroes like Queen of Pain, who we never see anymore.
Okay. Now, in terms of the heroes that we expect today, anything comes to mind?
I mean...
Lycan from Cloud9, or Lycan from EG, most likely. Terrorblade from Cloud9.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it just depends, really, like what teams are feeling on any given day. I think it's hard to just go into it and say one team's going to pick a particular style, because these are the situations. If you're Cloud9 and EG, you feel in this division you should come out 1 and 2, right?
Yes.
So if you want to, like, experiment against another team like Cloud9, I feel like that's okay, because you feel confident that you could probably beat SNA in complexity if you just bring your A game. So I wouldn't say that there's necessarily anything set in stone that we're going to be seeing. I mean, sure, PPD might draft something like Tide Enigma, you know, who knows. EG
Although,
special.
I mean, to bring it back to the Europe West division, I'm sure Alliance and Tinker was like, all right, we're 1 and 2. And then 4 Anchors up there.
Yeah, I mean...
So it wouldn't surprise me too much if like Sneaky Nicks or Complexity made an upset here and there and cause some problems.
Because let's be honest, like Alliance and Fnatic haven't really been the teams that we've known them for, like prior to TI4, of course. And like 4ASC is a team who's new, but it has a lot of recognized players. So it's not as if they're that imbalanced in terms of...
When you say a lot of recognized players, it's just 2. 1.5.
Okay, maybe 1.5.
Yeah.
Also, my sound on my laptop is on, and I can hear you in-game, actually, which is a bit disorienting.
That's awesome.
So I'll have to...
Let me talk louder.
I'll have to fix that. But the game's just loading in, and it's going to be 3 best-of-1s between Cloud9 and EG. Who do you think is going to take it?
Well, I mean, look at the jersey I'm wearing.
I had to ask, okay? I mean, I'm pretty sure they can even see the Cloud9 thing right there, which is good because
it's pretty fanboy, I gotta say.
We actually walked to the store, and it was good that he had that on because I felt like I was going to get hit by oncoming traffic if I didn't have him as like my...
As a light bearer, or like a reflector of lights.
Yeah, more or less. But anyway.
That's a good name.
Yeah, we're inside the draft now. Looks like Skywrath is going to be taken out by EG, and Cloud9 are going to ban out Razor. By the way, they brought out your chair. Cool. I was just going to say, I don't know where
I have to bring my own chair. It's over there. I have to walk across the studio to get my own chair.
Second world problems. Well, first world problems, I guess. But, all right.
They don't pay me enough for this.
So Skywrath ban, I like that quite a bit, actually, because I feel like it leaves you way too open in terms of what your lanes can be. Because Skywrath as an individual roamer is still quite strong, can zone basically any hero in the game. I just feel like he gives you the potential to do so many different things that if you just want a good, stable draft, you should ban him in the first 2.
Okay, fair enough. And of course, they take out Drow Ranger as well. Immediate Brewmaster pickup. I think Brewmaster has really evolved over a TI4 till now. I feel like at TI4, the Brewmaster was mostly utilized as a tool to like stop the 5-man deathball pushes or be part of the 5-man deathball push.
He still kind of is.
But now I think it's more built towards the late game as the games are getting longer, right? You see more of the Vlad's AC build, the more aura carry compared to before. Before he just like mostly Aghanims if the game even lasted that long.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people played him as a purely impact hero. And in that sense, if you just want the biggest bang for your buck for your hero only, obviously Aghanims is the better choice. Plus, it makes it harder to burst you through BKB, which is really important as well for the early game. But since EG, they took out Sky, there's no real chance to get silenced or anything like that before he can get a split off. So being able to burst him before he gets his ulti is pretty low right now in terms of what EG have as supports. Right. Or we could assume that Jakiro is going to be played by Universe, right? Like off-lane Jakiro.
If it's just an Ogre picked up without Jakiro, because they definitely play Universe offlane Ogre before.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually that good because I think one of the strengths of Ogre early game is be able to roam about, cause some damage, or at least bully the lane. And if you just have Ogre sitting against a tri-lane, well, he doesn't do too much. But in terms of initiating against the Brewmaster, like in theory, once you get a Eul's on Jakiro, you could just put the Brewmaster up, Ice Path in waiting as he comes down, and you can even burst him down with a couple of multicasts. So it's going to be hard to do, but it's doable.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they follow it up with because, I mean, Ogre and Jakiro are, I would say, pretty flavor of the month heroes, but Necrophos is one that's actually come into play at least recently. People are starting to realize like his lane presence self-sufficiency is like he doesn't really need babysitting unless he's being heavily roamed on. He can lane against most anything in the game, I think, and do fairly well. And plus his mid game, he's a very obvious mech carrier. I think actually when I saw Envy play it last, he actually rushed Rod of Atos.
Yes.
He went like treads Rod of Atos like straight away, gives you a ton of it. Your right-click damage is actually deceptively high. You can slow, which is a utility that Necrophos obviously doesn't have in his innate skill set, and it makes you tanky. So.
You know, when I first saw Necrophos in the pro game, I thought just as you did, like mech carrier.
Yeah.
But people don't actually buy mech on him. Like when PyCat plays it, he goes like Midas Blink BKB. When Envy plays it, he goes Atos. I think when IG played it, he goes like Blink and Aghanims or something like that. I've never actually seen a mech. So it just, there's like a lot of interesting playstyle to him, and everybody takes it a little bit differently. And you talk about his laning capability here. Let's actually examine it here. Necrophos versus Jakiro in terms of a pair 1v1. It's hard to say actually who comes out ahead.
I think Necrophos will kind of struggle to harass in the early phases, but I mean, you're never really looking to take direct auto attack trades, right? Because you can get liquid fired or something like that.
At the same time, the Necrophos is going to have his aura.
Right, which is why you don't actually want to right-click trade, because Jakiro's base stats are insane, and trading with him is kind of foolish. So as he gets higher level, like the Necrophos, I think will start to pull ahead. His lane push is more sustainable if he decides to go extra points in a Sadist. Like you get the one value point to Heartstopper, and at level 6, like you should be 3-1-1-1, right? And then after that point, you can just sustain forever, and I don't think he can really push you out. But we haven't seen any supports picked yet from Cloud9. They basically have 2 cores, or what we could assume is going to be the mid at least, and a safe laner right now. And EG's roaming potential is actually, it's okay. We've seen an Ogre. They banned Skye themselves and Witch Doctor, actually, which is a good pairing with Ogre Magi. If you wanted to get Maledict early, we've seen some teams do that for more aggression potential. But I feel like that pick is pretty safe, even though it's early.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Witch Doctor ban also makes sense because if you see AA being banned out on Cloud9's side, if they get both Necrophos and Witch Doctor, it's really hard to clear through that team. Like there's a lot, so much heal involved in that. But yeah, I'm not sure whether they'll roam or not. It's sad for me to see Ogre Magi being selected because, first of all, he's a great hero, but I really miss Abaddon by PPD. I also miss things like Tree. And I don't think they'll run double.
You are like the scummiest person for saying that, by the way.
Why?
Who misses Abaddon Tree? Those are like the you can't fight us team.
Exactly. It's like a really nice. Okay, I miss those heroes because I haven't seen them much. I've seen Ogre every single game.
That part is fair.
Yeah.
But as far as what they bring to the game, that's like saying you're playing matchmaking and you're excited to play against an Omni Knight team.
Look,
like who wants to play against
But EG draft like that. Like they do DK mid.
I know.
Is anybody excited to see DK mid?
Hey, Empire did DK mid, and they did it in a much more aggressive fashion and actually fought people. Now, that was a while ago.
Actually, EG plays very aggressive as well. Like, when they do draft a push strat, they actually push well. So I think that's one of the reason why they're one of the best teams. Like, if they see a very greedy draft, and Cloud9 is known to draft very greedy, they will punish you by pushing very, very hard. I'm not sure whether you had the pleasure. Yeah. Let's stick with that word, pleasure of watching PPD's vlog.
I didn't actually. I saw it posted, but I didn't have time to watch it.
Okay. I think it's really nice and if people out there want to watch it. Sniper pick. Okay.
That's legit. Because
he talked about like every single game, what draft they played against and what they were thinking. So for fellow captains out there or like casters, I found that it was like very helpful. So I would recommend it for anyone to watch. But Sniper is the pickup here. Is it any dangerous to pick Sniper so early in the draft?
Okay, so if we look at the bans, like I'm gonna have a roundabout way of answering your question this morning. But Wisp, Witch Doctor, Skywrath, Visage, AA, Slark, all banned. Heroes that you could say potentially punish a Sniper in a way. Right?
Sure.
They all make him vulnerable in their own ways. Wiz can relocate gank. Witch Doctor can smoke gank. Visage Birds actually destroy heroes who want to sit in the back. You get Visage Birds stunned like twice, and all of a sudden you're having a real bad time. But since all those things are taken out of the pool, Cloud9 have clearly shown that by picking in Necrophos, their killing potential is going to be relatively low. Sniper is still a safe choice.
Sure.
Because if you put him mid, right now there's an ES and a Brew. I don't think they're going to put him mid. But if they did, it would be relatively dangerous, but I think it would be manageable since they're Dire side. And I feel like Dire is actually kind of harder to gank in a way. Like you have to.
Are you talking about mid or safe lane?
Mid.
Okay.
But like think of Radiant. You can come in from so many angles that are fog, basically, and you can actually just go in from behind and kill him, like straight up. But juking on Dire is a lot easier now, especially when they added that little area that's to the right near the Roche pit. And plus, I mean, you have an Ogre Magi who's going to be free to run around as well, plus your extra 1 support, because I'm assuming that Jakiro is going to be farming.
Right.
But I still feel as though this pick, because of the heroes that he's already partnered with, it's very easy to zone out everything but the Brew. The Brew is the only hero who has the capability of jumping on you at this point. And then you have bailout from like Ice Path, Ogre Stun. So the Necrophos doesn't really want to be in the middle of the fight per se until a little bit later on into the game.
Right.
And Reaper scything a sniper is going to be exceptionally hard unless you buy Blink.
Well, it's not just the Reaper siphon the sniper. It's the fact that you have to get damage on the sniper to get the kill on him, right? You just don't want to Reaper siphon him when it's at 70% health.
Yeah.
And I think Veno adds a lot more to the whole, hey, if you want to try to blink in, well, good luck with that. I'm going to have wards essentially everywhere. This is, well, it depends on how EG wants to play this, right? Because this particular lineup is very good at pushing as well, or sieging rather. Liquid Fire, Shrapnel from afar, the wards essentially give you perfect vision, and then also siege on top. So I think EG right now lacks some frontline tank, but once you have that particular hero, like Dragonite per se,
Yeah, could be a mid DK.
yeah, and just like a really, really good draft, I want to say.
I don't know, I almost feel like they want a Tide Hunter or something too on EG. Like you could mid even Ogre or Jakiro, for
Why not?
example.
Yeah.
And then you could just have another hero who sets the pace of a team fight, because right now the Bat is the direct answer, I think, to Sniper. Although allegedly, I would say that playing Bat into Veno is a huge pain. Like,
Yeah, it is.
Venomancer wards are so frustrating to play against. Your positioning has to be immaculate, and I'm assuming it's going to be either Bone 7 or Fata playing the Bat. Actually, it's going to be Fata playing Brew.
Bone 7, yeah, it's
it's going to
definitely
be Bone 7 Bat.
And Bone 7 Bat, like sometimes you get a really good bat game and just like clean house. Other times he does these like BOT first builds and decides to get a little bit greedy and farm and gives up his timing for his blink. I don't know exactly what kind of bat we'll see. The contest of the jungle is going to be hard because you're dealing against roaming Veno and Ogre, possibly. And that's really, really hard for Earthshaker +1 to stop, I want to say.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I actually favor EG's lanes quite a bit. I mean, the Earthshaker is a good defensive hero for team fights, but he's not so good for the laning phase. And Necrophos is pretty good on his own for the laning phase, so that's fine. Brew is obviously a self-sustainable laner, and the Bat is going to be able to recover, hopefully, assuming the second support pick from Cloud9 can actually do some stacking and things like that. But I'm thinking if this Jakiro gets any money, and if it is Universe, he typically is able to get like Tranquil's Yules like every game, no matter what the circumstances are.
And all you really need is Tranquil Yules.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at that point, you never have to go back to base, pretty much. Your Liquid Fire is going to be maxed out, and they're even picking a Rubik to just counter the Bat even harder. So once the Jakiro gets Yules, you're going to have Rubik Lift as well to worry about. It's going to be very, very hard for the Bat. Like, he needs a BKB and a Force and a Blink. That's a lot to have to like commit to in terms of item progression to make sure that you can do your job.
Not only that, like the possibility of stealing Fissure, which is amazing for Rubik. The possibility of getting the Bruce Split is pretty huge as well. So I think this is a very good pickup. The question is, what is going to be the lanes and who's going to be playing what? I imagine this is going to give us a Jakiro off lane. So is this going to be an Ogre mid or Sniper mid?
Hurry, hurry.
I want to say that it's going to be Ogre. I think he benefits more from the levels, and really EG really, they only have to keep the Sniper safe, right? In my opinion. So if it's Bat off lane, and then you have Jakiro off lane, Veno Rubik, the Batrider will still be pretty, I would say, fairly pressured at the very least. Like, you get Galed and lifted, you should die.
Yeah.
Pretty much, even if you have Firefly on. So I think that lane actually has some pretty significant kill potential, although I would say Ogre, Veno Rubik would probably be about the same in terms of danger. I just feel as though Ogre benefits far more from the EXP than the Sniper will. The Sniper really just wants to farm.
I would say Sniper generally want to max out all his spells as well, so early game experience won't hurt, especially if you want to get a couple of early points in Shrapnel and Siege. But we'll see. In terms of the flat-out roaming aspect, because we assume Ogre was your support and he's roaming, right? Now we're looking at Veno Rubik.
It could be solo Veno as well, actually. Like
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, they could solo the
Actually, I
Veno.
think I like solo Veno more.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be solo Veno.
EG Pablo, I don't know who that is. Maybe that's RTZ, maybe that's Fear. But we'll see. Shadow Demon's going to be the reply here. What's your thought on that?
It's kind of interesting, actually.
Because I feel like the way that EG has is this like big siege cannon almost, right? They're going to come at you slowly. They're going to use their range and hit you. You really want as much initiation as possible. And Shadow Demon is like a defensive hero.
He is a defensive hero, but at the same time, it could be a pick to bail out the bat. It could also be something to get to the sniper because Demonic Purge actually has a pretty long range. So I don't know. It feels kind of out of place to me too, to be frank.
Right.
Like picking that hero in this particular situation. They could be looking for something else that might play a little bit greedy that's not melee. Like Sand King is another hero where you would say, okay, if I get a Blink Dagger because I'm able to AFK jungle, then I can play it greedy. But if you max poison on Shadow Demon, you can farm just as well, right?
You could defend pretty well as well. Maybe that's
you can
something
spam out the waves pretty hard. So maybe that's what they're going to be looking to do.
Okay, let's quickly introduce the players and the teams. We have EE playing the Necrophos. We have Bone 7 on the Bat Rider, Aoyu 2000 on the Earthshaker, Pylai Dai on Shadow Demon, and Fata on Brewmaster. Fata going for the quick bottle bill. No surprises there.
Yeah, and on EG, we're going to have Zai playing on the Rubik. PPD is going to be playing Ogre Magi, Universe on the Jakiro. Pablo, who I only assume is Arteezy, going to be playing on Sniper, and then Fear is going to be playing Veno. So from the looks of things, I mean, I want to say this is
level 1 fight here.
See a Fire Blast here. Level 1 Fire Blast is actually
pretty bad.
Pretty mediocre, yeah.
I think Ignite would have been much better. But
everyone's
Fissure, oh my god, that blocked onto 2.
Oh no.
Napalm's going to be hitting everybody. Actually, no, that's Firefly. Excuse me, Poison Stacks are going to be hitting on everybody. That Fissure just lasts forever. PPD looks like he's going to be getting up first blood. Shrapnel from now. E's really stuck on the right side. Zai giving him the right click. The Poison Stack coming in.
What is this fight?
Who's going to get the first blood? Nobody's going to get the first blood.
PPD, he's so dead. It just depends on who gets the kill. He stuns out the Brewmaster, so Fata not going to get the first blood. Actually goes to Bone 7.
Oh, another Fissure
He's
block.
going to eat another Fissure. He has the wand charges, though. The Gale hits on 4 heroes.
No damage, though. Just a 50%
They're going to get the Brew, the auto attacks.
Well, he's really tanky. He's running away. Shrapnel's coming off cooldown, but he has no mana.
Oh, the deny
coming up from Envy, and now they're going to turn on Zai coming on the right side here. Firefly's going to be out for 1 second, and that should give him the vision. Bone 7, use a Firefly, please. He's running away. He's going to fly and burn, and they should not be able to chase him down. 2 kills going towards EG, although only getting to go for 1 of them.
What the hell did I just watch?
Who got the first blood?
What a game.
Who got the first blood?
The first blood went to Bat, Bone 7.
Okay, that's huge, right? Like,
yeah.
Actually, Bone 7 has double ring of protection.
Dude, that 8 armor. That's value right there.
I don't know if you just want to start a jewelry shop or something.
They have 2 heroes with double ring of protection, by the way. Envy and Bone 7 both have double ring of protection.
Are they trying something?
Dude, it's just mass armor. So strong. The other thing is, too,
Tranquil Basilius? Is that the build?
Well, I don't think you go Tranquils, actually. And Zai actually suicides to Roshan to get to base faster because he wants to get to lane. But I wanted to talk about the level 1 fight because, I mean, obviously, Cloud9 got ahead of that by a wide margin because the thing is, Fata ended up dying, but he got to lane and got a full wave of experience before the other mid laner was actually there.
Yes.
So they weren't able to get a lot of the XP out of that. They get the first blood. Obviously, they only got 1 kill, but it was first blood. So I think it's fine. And I actually think that they are a little bit ahead for it. But Arteezy gets to the lane, and he's all of a sudden just dominating. Like, he had nothing, like, a minute ago.
Yep.
And now he's got 4-3 in the first 3 creep waves.
He was also forced to get Shrapnel. I wouldn't say that's the best laning ability.
No, it's good. You want to get Shrapnel.
Well, he's not spamming it because he got the mana, right?
Well, he used it twice in the first fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe even 3 times.
No, I'm saying just for laning, you probably want more headshots and take aim.
No, I think if you're mid, you actually want Shrapnel even more, because if you can Shrapnel from across the river and deal damage to the tower.
Okay.
And there's no backdoor protection on the tier 1, so even if the creeps aren't on the tower, you can still damage it.
Well, we'll see if he's going to level up.
Oh, Fear. He's 4-stacked here in the top lane. Bone 7, though, he eats a Gale. There's 9 stick charges. This could be an overcommitment. Fear popping the last second wand. Telekinesis is there.
Oh, my
Bone
God.
7 dives into the tower. Old man Fear. What a player. Just holding that until the last
That's the oldest trick in the book as a Bat Rider.
That's the clencher, though.
Yeah.
Like, you're clenching pretty hard. Fear, or excuse me, Arteezy almost gets Fissure block there. Even looked like it should block. He's going to be able to get his hands on the bounty.
Are they really going to chase Fissure?
Boots.
Fissure coming off cooldown in about 5 seconds, but here comes Zai. He's just everywhere he needs to be. And so what do you think about this offensive trialing coming out from EG? Is this a byproduct of basically the Clowney fight that happened, or do they really want to do this from the start?
I think they wanted to do this. If you look at the way the lanes are going right now, Fear. Looks like he's going to be solo dying here. One more. Oh, man. Bone 7. The Poison Sting and the Gale. It's just too strong. 244 move speed. Very, very slow. But as far as the aggressive lane goes, I think it's okay just because Veno, as shown previously, shouldn't really die in a 1v1 to a Batrider, even though Fear has come dangerously close twice.
Well, I think he would have died if Zai didn't TP.
Yeah, of course, but you have to play around that, right?
Sure.
Like, Zai started boots. He knew that he was going to have to be active here, and just one lift can get you a kill if some hero's tower diving, especially if you're laning against a Veno. So, if you look at the solo heroes and who he's actually ganking for, it's actually quite good. And plus, he's level 4 at 3 minutes. So Zai is absolutely monstrous in terms of experience gain.
Being a part of all 3 kills of the team, essentially, is a big part. Looks like EG is challenging just jungle. Pylai Dai's going to get hit. Zai's already there. Pylai Dai's dead. He's going to try to disrupt himself? No.
Yeah, that's super dead. Yeah. Speaking of super dead, Fear going to be dropping here to Bone 7.
You know, we keep saying that Veno shouldn't die, but you want to... Well, 3 times almost he died.
He has boots, right? The Veno has boots?
He should.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I find it a little bit strange because when you have a commitment to the bottom lane, maybe he was assuming that Zai would be able to help. But maybe just like mismatch of communication, you don't know that Zai is not going to be able to TP because he's helping another lane. But you can't really blame Zai because for crying out loud, he's got 4-minute arcanes.
Yep.
And he's level 4. So I think that EG are actually getting a tremendous amount out of this. Not necessarily in the farm department because their CS, they have it kind of spread out on everyone.
Nobody has good CS. If you look at the lead farmer in 4 minutes of play, it's the Brood Master in mid lane. Yeah. I think shutting down Envy is actually a big part. A lot of these games, I see the Necrophils just getting absolute free farm. The thing is, though, like if you offensive trialing Heartstopper Auras...
Oh, man, this haste room. Thunderclaps there. Fissure.
Fissure.
Actually blocks.
No, he walks through.
He's got it.
Okay,
he gets 1 crit to Shrapnel, though.
What?
So strong. He's got to take aim.
I'm so confused by that tree.
He's going to get a stun off. He's not going to be able to bottle through this. Zai with the kill secure. Aoi behind enemy lines. There's no creeps.
They will have Shrapnel in 1 second. Give him sight.
Nah, he's scared.
Okay.
It's only got 100 HP.
All right. So, you know, despite how well Rubik's roaming, I want to say Aoi's, you know, he's got 2 fissure block at the beginning of the fight. Got a kill on top lane. Almost forced a kill mid. And looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble now.
Yeah, the problem with the Plague Wards for Bat is that you have no way of killing them at all. See Aoi get lifted here, but he's going to be fine. So that's kind of why I figured the Veno wouldn't die, because it's pretty obvious in a 1v1 as Veno, you always go wards, like every single time. Yep. Once you get to level 5, it becomes insanely hard to just de-push your lane in general. And if you try to get a couple of stacks up of Napalm and dive into him, the wards actually deal a pretty good chunk of damage at this stage in the game. So
Zai roaming here again. He's got 1 mana, or one spell. There. I don't think they really get a kill, though. And Zai is tower diving. The Fissure is going to be huge here. Oh, no, Zai. He's going to take a ton of tower hits, and it looks like Aoi's going to finish him off. The question is, is Bone 7 going to die? No, Bone 7 is going to fly over trees. You know, I haven't thought about this, but if you're playing a solo bat 1v1 situation, and you're going to be tower diving a lot, that +6 armor from your 2 rings is pretty huge.
Yeah, it's a value item. It really is. Like 200 gold for 3 armor is insane.
Is it?
I think it is.
I mean, why don't you just get a chainmail? Obviously, you can't start with a chainmail, but you could get first item chainmail and see how that goes, right?
Well, it's 550 as opposed to 400 for 1 less armor. So, I mean, you're basically, the difference between 150 gold being 1 armor is far less efficient. This is Envy, man. You know him. He would never buy an inefficient item like a chainmail.
Yeah, well, okay. It obviously upgraded to something better.
PPD, looking for the Ignite. Ice Pad actually clips him. He's going to get stunned.
He's dead.
Follow-up lift.
He does have 7 wand charges. And he's support coming in. Magic Wand. Disruption's going to come in. That should buy him another heal. Yeah. Heal's going to come through. They're going to turn on PPD. They won't get PPD. Oh, the Sadist regen wasn't enough. The TP out from Universe, he's going to make it home. But Zai, unfortunately, will not have the same luxury. Good TP here coming in from Cloud9 and the rescue. But I think killing Envy there is pretty big.
Yeah, getting that kill was actually pretty fortunate. I think if Pylai Dai had been even a little bit sooner, like if he wasn't that low when the disruption came out, if he got that kill, then the Sadist might have kept him alive. But it might only be level 1, so maybe it just wasn't enough regen. Still, though, getting a kill out of that situation, I think, in a way, Cloud9 kind of got away with murder. Or, I guess in this case, no, I won't say it. It's a really bad joke. But RTG left to his own devices here, more or less middle lane. He's leading CS by like a handful, I would say, one or two maybe. But when you have like double Wraithband phase, you do an insane amount of damage. And he's not opting to max the shrapnel. He's only got 1 point. He's got mostly in take aim, which is that I don't want to actually be as gankable because my positioning is always farther back from the creep wave build.
Sure.
Which I totally respect, considering Aoi has been pretty active on the map.
And you just generally want to stay as far from the Master as possible. A collab is going to lead into a crit, and things going to look pretty ugly if that happens.
Yeah.
So how would you say the flow of the game is going? Because it's been pretty clowny. We've seen a lot of roam. Nobody's really getting farmed, apart from now RTZ being the lead farmer. Who does this benefit? Like, EG seems to be running this kind of more of a mid-game strat, as we see Death Pulse being stolen, Ice Path not going to put Envy on the bottom line.
They wouldn't have killed him with that anyway. It was maybe just to do some harass. PPD was not close enough to land a secondary stun. But as far as who the game is favoring right now, I'd say that Cloud9 are only behind in the sense that their heroes do not have all the tools that they need yet.
So
like the bat needs blink, right?
Bruce
like,
blink.
Once they get the double blink, I think that they'll be the advantage team for sure.
Envy getting heavily
Are they really going
dove.
to dive this? Oh, the macro pyre to break the trees. They want to go ham. There's 4 heroes here from EG. It's going to be an easy NB kill. Not even the hint of a rebuttal coming out from Cloud9, and there should be a dead tower.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Earthshaker was. Looks like he's going to get some farm on the top lane as the bat is getting the blink gold in the jungle. So basically, the sacrificial kill for Envy to ensure that everybody else gets farm. And if you look at Envy, this build makes more sense, right? If you're going to go first item Atos, a lot of health, a lot of mana, you want some armor.
Yeah, it's true. Like, in terms of effective HP, you probably have what, like, when you finish an Atos, you have, I don't know, Tread's Atos is like 1200 HP range once it's finished. And then if you have an extra 6 armor on top of that, it's not too shabby. But the other thing is, too, is that EG have a tremendous amount of magic damage at this stage. Like, PPD being level 5, Zai actually being level 6, maybe even close to 7 at this point. They're going to lift the Brood. There's no way they could, they might be able to force him to split here.
Split.
He might have to.
Split.
Oh, no, he's still alive. I'm surprised Pylai didn't disrupt him, actually.
Dude, they calculated, man. They looked at the magic damage, it took 25% off. It's like,
yeah, but it's still better to disrupt when it's in midair, because the mana cost would have already been there.
That's true.
Efficiency, man. But EG are the team that actually have the scarier early game push. Between Veno Wards and Jakiro, Liquid Fire, your towers are pretty susceptible to dying. I mean, RTZ Shrapnel is only level 1, but it's fine because he can attack from out of tower range with 3 points in a take aim. I think it's 3. Maybe it's 4. I know it's 4 for sure.
Yeah, they did change take aim's range eventually.
But yeah, their siege is quite scary. So I would say that until the blinks are up on Cloud9, they're going to be the ones playing on mostly defensive stance.
The blinks are up soon. Batrider already has this. He's already smoked up looking for a gank on the mid lane, but nobody's nearby. He might have to switch to top. But again, though, you're going to have to fly in from like some awkward angles on the right side.
See you later. That's a Bone 7 blink right there.
Never mind. He went to the mid lane. I didn't even see that.
Yep. Dagger first, LOL. I mean, that's a pretty good timing.
See, yeah, I thought you would go bots, actually. I think in a recent interview, somebody said, like, oh, when we saw Bone 7 went bots first in his bad game, we knew we had the game won. So I think that might have been a reply or...
And there's no way you can go a luxury item like that first in this game. Like,
Bone 7 always does, or most of the time does.
All of your tier 1s, basically. Well, the middle one's still alive, but not for long, right?
Yeah. Looks like we're going to see a rotation coming in mid. Fada sees this. He's got blink. Well, actually, he doesn't see this.
Oh, the lift.
They can't kill him, right?
I mean, he can split.
Yeah. There's no way he can.
He's using Assassinate.
Well,
he gets started here, but he goes, no, the Assassinate hits while he's in the Yules. The split goes off, and all of a sudden the Fissure putting Zai on the wrong side of the river. Should be dropping here to a few more auto attacks. They're even going to throw RTZ up in the air. Zai going for the TP out. Is he really not going to drop?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the TP needed to come immediately after the Boulder toss, but, you know. Looks like we're going to see a little bit of siege on tier 1 mid, but yeah, they actually should be able to bring this down without too much of a hassle.
Yeah, they got Liquid Fire. Yeah. And Universe is level 8, so it's maxed out. And he has his Yules at before 12 minutes. So, like I was saying, he usually gets his Yules pretty damn fast in every single game. And that means that if EG are 5-manning, and they have the Rubik there with the lift and the Yules together, there's a pretty low chance that Bone 7's going to be able to get out with a hero unscathed.
Yeah. He'll probably get a hero, but he'll probably die for it.
Yeah.
So I actually want to go back to this Atos build. I'm not sure what it does this particular game because you could slow one, and you could kind of force a fight into EG.
It's the range, though, that matters. Like, ASUS range is enormous. So a lot of heroes that are difficult to get to, like Fear, for example, or the Sniper, it's these heroes, if you have an ASUS, suddenly if you blink in, you clap, and you have an ASUS, and you have a Fissure, you have a lot of spells that can actually close the gap, I would say, pretty reliably.
Okay, so it's basically the Brewmaster forcing everybody to run, and then things like Fissure and ASUS to capitalize on kills.
Yeah, it's a very good chasing item.
Okay.
In terms of what it gives you. But we're going to see a lasso here top onto Zai. Fissure to follow it up. The lift was there, though, so the enchant totem gets interrupted.
Oh.
The counter Fissure comes out from Zai. He's walking out of the Firefly. Teleport reaction coming in. It's going to be Arteezy. He does quite a bit of damage to them before he drops.
That's
Bone
an easy
7
assassinate.
might be paying with his life. Doesn't even have to use
Dude,
the assassinate.
Shrapnel into assassinate?
Does he want to go for 2? Bang! He got him. What a player.
That was perfectly played. Like, I think most player would have just like, all right, I'm going to assassinate Bat. That's my kill.
Dude, when you have Phase and Blade of Alacrity, almost a full Yasha, your damage is insane. He's got full headshot, full take aim. They do lose their tier 1 in the process, though, so it's a 2-for-1, and they get a tier 1. I'd still say Cloud9 probably come out ahead there a little bit, though. Because Arteezy got experience and gold for those kills, I would say it's a little bit more even.
So Arteezy most likely going to go Manta? Or do you think he's going to transition to some other farming item, like a Melt?
I think Manta's really good here.
Okay.
I don't think you actually want BKB that soon. Like, if you can make Manta, even items like Scotty are really strong against these types of teams, because if you buy straight BKB, you're not really that much of a threat, to be honest.
See, I'm of the school that a sniper should never get BKB.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same.
Because you have so much range. Like, you should... I mean, against pro teams who jumps at you with Brewmaster and Blink, you kind of need BKB.
Jumps, is he going to be able to get away from this? The Yules to stop the Blink. Here comes the Ice Path. Do they have the damage? They could force out a split here.
I mean, force it out is one way, and he'll use it right here.
Yep.
The question is...
They're going to lose people for it, though.
They're going to lose Zai, definitely. Echo Slam's going to come in.
He's not going to... Oh, there we go. Now he's going for PPD.
Yeah,
Bone 7 even chasing for a bonus kill. Wanted to go on Universe.
Oh, PPD's going to get the plus 30. Oh, this is ugly.
Oh, God.
You know, I think that ultimate is just too powerful. Gale's going to come on high ground, so is the Venom ult. Fear is just doing a ton of damage. The Fissure from one ice, the Ice Path from the other, and everybody just have to TP out.
Oh my
He's going to try to fight his way out of here. TP a little bit late. Ice Path's going to come off cooldown. No, Yule's going to come off first. Ice Path to follow it up, and he's dead. Shouldn't PPD have died? Did he buy back? Okay.
Yeah, he bought back for that one. I mean, at the end of the day, if they're only looking to push towers, the buyback is worth it. Because they can just go to the tier 2 with Liquid Fire and just burn it down.
The next time he dies, Jesus Christ, that respawn time.
Yeah, he got Reapered. So if he dies
plus 30
now,
on that one.
He's actually going to be just dead for 20 minutes. Like, he's not going to come back until like 35.
We'll see the actual number in a bit if he dies. I guess the solution to that is don't die.
Yeah. I mean, this game has been fairly action-packed given the heroes. Like, we thought maybe it would be a bit more of a slow-paced early game, but because EG have such a good pushing lineup, it forces Cloud9 to react to them all the time.
Looks like we're going to see yet another reaction. They see him teleporting in. The question is, can they actually push him down?
He doesn't have split.
Yeah, he's just going in right now, but he's going to take a ton of damage.
He gets the Fissure.
Yeah, he's dead. I think Disruption's going to come in. Nicely done, but there's no more mana, and Fata's just caught out. The Bat Rider is not even close. The Bat Rider's farming top. Yeah, I'm not sure about that jump.
I mean, if you have split, I totally understand going in there.
Yes.
But to think that you can walk away from a Gale and Ignite, Poison Sting slow, Dual Breath slow, a Yule's Ice Path, and a Rubik Lift.
And a sniper hitting you with headshot and shrapnel.
You're a level 11 Brewmaster with treads and you're tanky. And you feel like, yeah, I can go in there.
You know how you think that you are the worst RNG player? Mm-hmm. Maybe Fata just believed in his RNG. He's like, I'm going to just backtrack everything.
You never go into it assuming the best case. At least not for me. When I'm playing, and I think of RNG, like, he has cursed me. RNG has forsaken me so long ago that I've just become, like, immune to it.
You know what? A lot of people complain about RNG, but I think a lot of times you don't know when the RNG is actually favoring you. For example, when you're doing a last hit and you just, like, get the max damage, and you need the max damage to get the last hit.
Okay, that's a very niche case, because a lot of heroes don't have damage ranges long enough to really warrant making that argument.
Fair enough.
Like, CK is maybe one of the only heroes in the game where I could say that's the case. But back to the game, EG to secure the tier 2 safe lane, so if they want to go Roche, they definitely can. It's going to be kind of hard, though, because the next time Fata's alive, there's going to be split.
Yep. And I don't think they could do it in 30 seconds or 40 seconds.
Oh, no. Not even close. They don't have the damage.
Well, Sniper... No, Sniper is already ported top. Never mind.
Yeah, he's not going to go out for that. Looks like Zai actually manages to steal Fissure again, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the most disruptive spells, if not the most, that he can steal on that team outside of Disruption. But, sorry, that was a terrible joke too. But it's really annoying for Bone 7 because now he has to worry about the Rubik not only having lift but Fissure. Is he going to get assassinated? I guess he didn't get the...
Even if he got the assassinate
off. He didn't have mana.
Bone 7 could have blinked it because his blink was off CD at that point. But a very good ward over here. I think this particular ward on the top lane is what protects the sniper from getting ganked because there's really no other path that the Bat Rider come in from.
Well, you could just smoke.
Sure. He didn't then, though.
Yeah. But I really like the way that EG is playing this. They know that even if they commit to fights and lose a handful of heroes, their push is just unbelievably strong, honestly. It's not a matter of having like a lot of creeps or anything. It's not like a Chen team. It's just the tower can't hit anything because of Liquid Fire. Like that hero in itself makes this lineup work. If they didn't have Jakiro, there's no way they pressure towers nearly as fast as this.
Well, it looks like we're going to see a big smoke gank walking past said ward, and they'll need to initiate. Here we go. They're going to go right on Zai. Not the target they really want. They want the sniper. They're going to drag Zai along. Well, Zai's still kind of hanging out here. He's actually disrupting a lot on the back line. EG Pablo is going to run away. And soon, Bone 7, a little bit of trouble. Force Staff and Blink on cooldown. Any follow-up from the rest of the team?
That was really bizarre. I mean,
I think they went very greedy.
He had to go on Rubik, though, because if he doesn't go on Rubik, he gets immediately lifted, and there's a Fissure that comes out, and then it stops the rest of the follow-up. Bone 7 could be paying with his life here, though. Well, Disruption, going to stop Fire Blast for time being. He's going to get Galed, though. 4 staffs away. The Fissure actually doing some pretty good work here. Blink Clap in from Fata. They're going to go on Fear. Who's going to get sent up in the air? It's going to be Universe. The Echo Slam comes out from Aoi just to secure the kill. Enchant Totem gets it done. PPD now on the run as well as Universe. He's going to eat a Boulder Toss here. I don't know if he has the damage to kill. They're going to chase down the Earth Spirit. One more Cyclone on the PPD. Not going to be a stun coming out of this. The Shrapnel will try to stop the Blink, but he walks out of it. Very nicely done.
Yep. How do you feel about a hero like Necrophos not really joining the fight? I know this is more of like a player playstyle.
Guess so.
Sorry, who?
I might be going Maelstrom. He could be going Maelstrom too. I'm talking about KZ. Sorry, what were you talking about?
Yeah. Okay, so Envy, he has a playstyle of, like, I'm going to let my team do stuff. I'm going to split push on my own, like very Terrorblade-esque. But I feel like Necrophos is one of those heroes that you want to join fights whenever it all is on cooldown because how impactful it is.
Yeah, when you're 11, I think you definitely want to fight. I can understand a level like 1 ulti.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, it doesn't really do that much damage.
Well, it's not the damage, it's the fact that you get a kill.
How I die. See you later.
Yeah. The fact that you get a kill, it's that plus 30 timer is absolutely huge. So I think you should always join fights. But that was a smoke.
Is going BKB. I mean, the timing is actually going to be fairly good because he doesn't. I mean, he might assume that Aoi is close to Blink, but Aoi's like 400 gold away from Blink Dagger, so he'll have the BKB, I think, at roughly the time Aoi has his Blink, which is pretty good.
I think it's more of like. I was thinking, all right, they cannot initiate on the sniper anymore because I feel that even if you bat lasso him, he'll still be able to pop his BKB. The mech's going to come through, and he'll be able to basically run away or fight in face range. To
be fair, though, their damage is actually very high. Like, if Fear has level 2 ulti, you have Jakiro, you have Ogre.
Okay, so you're saying they could get the BKB because they don't need the sniper for damage right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they have enough to seal the deal without him going straight damage items, which is fair enough.
I also don't think he actually needs the survivability because Zai's always going to be there. Universe always going to be there. There's a lot of good defensive spells. You really need your item to help you out. But they're going to go for it regardless. Interesting.
I think Manta would have been a decent choice.
I think it would have been much better.
Well, the thing is, the only thing you're really manting on that team is Thunderclap or Blind, right?
Sure.
I mean, those are the only 2 things. You can't Manta off Demonic Purge, and you can't Manta Fissure and stuff like that.
You could Manta Lasso in the sense that he has to retarget you.
That's true. If you're fast enough, that's definitely true. But I don't know what server we're playing on, so I don't know if it's actually like, if it's EU, it's much more unlikely that you'll be able to do that, right?
It's probably US East because we don't see PGD, crying about.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. Roshan being attempted here by EG.
That was a.
Oh, Bone 7 coming in from a pretty good angle. He's going to find PPD, but his team is nowhere to be found. He's just holding him there, but Envy comes in with the Reaper Sight. Did he have a Blink Dagger?
Stolen Reaper Sight, though, from Zai, though. That's the other big thing. Fear is going to get blown up, but he actually mechs and try to walk his way out. Meanwhile, Pablo on the front line, he's just hitting everybody, but they cannot do enough damage to save anybody. They lift out the Panda, and that should be it for the fight.
His BKB's down.
Well, I don't think they should actually re-engage. Are they going to think about it?
Well, there's 2 down. That's 5v3.
high ground though.
Oh,
Blink
Universe,
forward,
aggressive
ice
blink.
Fissure's gonna hit on everybody. Fata's dropping pretty low. Reaper Scythe's gonna come in. The disruption's gonna be there. Dodging the assassinate as well. It's really big cluster at blinking, coming in, double blink, and they're gonna blow up on EG Pablo. Pablo trying to run away. Oh my god, the aura, the Firefly doing so much damage. It looks like EG's gonna get a full 5-minute white bone 7 triple kill. Wow.
That was so greedy from EG. Like, why did they stay after they had 2 dead?
Well, they had the hill advantage. I thought it was like, all right, there's no way Cloud9's gonna fight this, but double blink.
There was actually an assassinate canceled by the fissure of Aoi that would have gotten a kill. And then when the assassinate actually went off, the disruption was
came
there.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of confused. Maybe Arteezy just didn't cancel cast fast enough, because there's no way you should let that go through. That was like a full second where he was disrupted that the assassinate went through. But either way, really nicely played by Aoi.
And they get the Aegis too.
Yeah.
That's huge. I think normally in a situation like that, a fight where that happens, like you would assume the team with the Venomancer, the team with Sniper just have more range and more sight just to deal with it. But if you look at where the fight ends, there is no wards anywhere. And I think that's really what made it worse for EG. Also, the fact that Cloud9 has, what, 4 blink daggers?
Yeah, but if you say it like that, like they didn't have any vision, doesn't it make it even worse that they decided to fight there?
Yeah.
That makes it like 10 times worse. Like,
No,
not only
what
are
I'm
we
trying to say
outnumbered
is-
by 2 heroes, but we can't see anything. Let's take this fight.
What I'm trying to say is the lineup is very capable of taking that fight. It's just, I guess, well, the Veno got burst down in the beginning, so he didn't have time to set up wards.
He was forced to panic ulti because he was like after PPD died, he was the main target. He got fissured, he got stuck, and then he got focused. So he was forced to ulti in a situation that wasn't ideal. Honestly, if I'm Fear, I think about buying a blink. Just being able to blink in the back and get ultis on the supports, especially. Like hitting heroes like Necrophos is okay, but he's really tanky, and now he has an Aegis. You really want to hit the Shadow Demon, the Earthshaker to stop his blink, the Bat to stop his blink. You just want to get the damage out on the weaker heroes so they die throughout the duration of the fight.
Well, I'm not sure about the blink choice, but I want to say that this could be the fault of the draft.
Oh my god. Cloud9, 5 blink daggers.
5? Shadow
5
Demon got
blink
1 too?
daggers, yeah.
My god. Well, I mean, if you want to beat Sniper, that's one way, right? But I think what EG really lacks is a person that stands on the front. Because I think the reason why Fear is getting caught all the time is the fact that, well, he's constantly standing in front. And I think Veno in this particular game is too valuable to stand in front. He needs to spam wards. Can you imagine if there's wards in a fight, what those 5 blink daggers will do? Not much. And that's something that we talked about in the draft, right? Like the
You'd have to have a lot of wards down, to be fair.
Right, but if a Veno gets to survive throughout the entire fight, wards will be had everywhere. And so far, he hasn't actually survived any fight, I think.
I think the main thing to remember is that if we're talking solely in terms of initiation potential, the wards have to be down when the fight starts. Because putting wards throughout the fight, sure, they won't be able to blink away, but if they get the initiation they want, that's irrelevant.
You want the wards ideally before the fight starts. And they were roshing, right? So they should have had plenty of wards, but looks like Batrider, I think, was able to get the initiation off. And now with 5 blinks, geez, it's going to be real.
Yeah, no kidding. And eggs on Envy. So if they take this fight and they Reaper Scythe and get a kill, it's guaranteed tier 2, I think.
Would you say this is too early of an axe?
No, definitely not. I mean, look at the survivability he has. He has 1,700 health.
Okay.
And as long as he's standing near the Brewmaster, he's got bonus 5 armor. So 12 armor, almost 1,800 HP, an Aegis, and a blink. So if he wants to go in, he can get a kill on pretty much anyone if they take outside damage. Like you get a Fissure, a Blink Clap, Reaper Scythe, dead hero, guaranteed.
The funny thing is that Envy has actually lost armor, something that you rarely see as the game progresses on.
Well,
because he still has 2 rings.
Yeah, in terms of effective HP, he didn't really lose any.
Bottom lane, they're going to initiate just... Okay.
No clap? Maybe he thought he was just going to BKB.
All right, they lasso
nice BKB timing, actually, by Arteezy, but it's not going to save him. He might be able to TP, though.
TP straight up. How long's that BKB charge? He'll make it home.
Nice.
Meanwhile, there's a fight going in the jungle. They actually bring down Envy.
Envy, please.
Envy's just like...
He's got Blink. Ice Path?
I mean, Ice Path will get him. They actually purge on Veno. Veno forced to drop that ult, and they're going to try to burst down Envy. Envy, a lot of survivability thanks to the Aghanims. Reaper Scythe's going to come in. Blink Clap going on PPD. Disruption saving Envy on the front line. Looks like he's going to die as a result. No Force Staff. He's getting a lot of health regen thanks to Sadis, and he's still alive. The Assassin is going to bring him down. Yep. And he is dead. But they actually committed so much that another hero dropping to Reaper Scythe, plus 30 timer. I feel like EG is fighting on a losing battle. They need Pablo to get fat and get fat soon. Unfortunately, he's buying all these items that are like defensive items.
I was really thinking he would go Mask of Madness instead of Dominator. Like if you go BKB, you YOLO damage, right? Because BKB is the item that's supposed to keep you safe against a team that is not really comprised of physical damage dealers. So either way, I realize now why they want the Shadow Demon so badly. He actually synergizes really well with Necro in the way that if you Soul Catcher somebody and you Reaper Scythe them, they're freaking dead.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do anything about that. Plus, Seda still heals you through Disruption.
Yeah.
So if you get a bunch of kills and you're low and your Shadow Demon disrupts you, you come out of Disruption with like 40% more health. It's pretty legit, actually. In a weird way.
Yeah, considering the fact that you have 5 blinks, a lot of times you blink in and you're in this like awkward position and you immediately get focused. The fact that you could disrupt, you really waste a lot of spells and cooldowns on the EG side, and then you could like re-engage or whatever. EG, all 5 smoked up, they don't nearly have the same amount of initiation. So even if they find one, chances are they could A, blink away, B, be reinforced by a lot of Cloud9 members.
The Alpha Wolf.
The plus.
That's value damage right there.
All right, man. Pablo hits 200 damage.
That's not that bad,
That's pretty impressive, actually. If you go BKB Helm and you still hit for 200 damage.
Yeah, I like the smoke gang from EG, though. It was not super obvious. Like, the lanes are pushed out decently. The only one that was kind of questionable is top. But other than that, I think it was a pretty decent try. Nice awareness, though, from Cloud9. Not going to give anything away for free. When Fear gets his
how big would this be?
The Aghanims is actually massive, especially when you get level 16. The cooldown on the ulti goes down to 1 minute when you have Ags and level 16.
Right.
Plus the damage dealt is absolutely insane. 108 damage a second.
1,700 magical damage in AoE. Just think about that for a second. It's 1,700.
It's completely ridiculous. So if he's able to get that, maybe a Veil afterwards if he doesn't want to go the route of Blink. The teamfight potential from EG is still really strong. It's all about Fear's ultis, though. If he doesn't get a good ult, fight over it. Like, there's no way they can burst anybody down fast enough.
Fear has been able to get off his ult every single time. Even though they try to initiate on him, they don't kill him quickly enough. They just don't have enough burst. But with that said, though, none of the Reaper Scythe have been dropped on him either in this previous fight. So
he got one ulti. He got it when they were fighting for Roche.
But I think that's after he dropped his ult.
Yeah. Yes.
So if Cloud9 wants to really focus him down, they have the tools, man. Again, 5 blink. You think the Shadow Demon blink is a little bit overdoing it?
No, I think when the rest of your team has blink, buying a blink actually becomes better. Yeah.
Blink's one of those items that the more you have on your team,
it basically becomes a better item.
Yeah, much better.
Your chase potential is almost limitless, and they do not know that Bone 7 is over here, at least for the time being.
Well,
he's looking for a jump. He's not going to be able to find one, though, without getting caught out immediately. I'm assuming he's going BKB next, but how close is he? Oh, he's pretty close. He's actually going to bottom, so Cloud9 don't want to commit to the push. I think it's a little bit scary, actually, to let this game go much later, because right now RTZ is vulnerable in the sense that he's not a huge damage threat as of right this second. But if you let him build like 1 or 2 more items, going high ground suddenly becomes a hell of a lot harder for your team, especially when you're assuming that hero is going to be bloodlusted. You have Plague Wards on the high ground. You have Jakiro with Ice Path and Mules and Macropyre for zoning. It's a very hard team to break tier 3s on.
At the same time, though, they do have, look at the scouting coming out from the Wolf. They will find Envy.
What is this?
Oh, they will not. I mean, the Wolf is losing health, right? So he should know.
That's a very good point, but they walk him out. It's like, nope, I want damage for last hitting in the lane.
At the same time, Cloud9, in terms of late game, they have Batrider, one of the best like high ground. And then you also have Reaper Scythe with Aghanims. So buyback is not a thing.
Well, basically, if Cloud9 take a team fight outside of the base, and they Reaper Scythe like Fear or Arteezy, and they're not there for the high ground defense, it's a much easier push, clearly. But I'm just saying, like, if worse comes to worse, and EG have to turtle inside their base, they have a good team for it.
Sure.
And I do think that there is some kind of late game inevitability for EG where if Arteezy gets enough items, a farm Necro won't really matter that much because you probably just die too fast.
I think it depends on how the Necro itemized. If he has like Shiva Hex, I don't think, first of all, he'll die too fast. Second of all, he will contribute a lot more than just a Reaper Scythe. And it really depends on, for example, what Brewmaster is going to get after his AC, I assume. That's his next item. If he also gets a Hex, then I think things could get a little bit hairy because the way that EG is building is that they have just 1 damage, right? 4 protect 1. Yeah, Veno's going to give you some damage, and sure, Jakiro will give you some as well.
Veno actually does the most damage on the team.
He does, but he doesn't do enough damage to be like, hey guys, worry about me now, right? They could essentially all go on the sniper, kill him, and then kill everybody else because by that time, sure, you have the Veno damage kicking in, but, you know, sniper's dead. So I really think this is essentially a 4 protect 1, at least how the damage plays out. And if you get enough hexes to really kill Arteezy and, you know, there's no buyback because of Reaper Scythe, then really EG's in trouble. Like, protecting sniper is of the utmost importance.
Yeah, and it's a tall order too with 5 blinks. I get where you're coming from. I think like he's got BKB Manta right now, so his survivability should be quite high in the sense that he's very hard to focus. Like BKB Manta, you're a hard target. Even blinking in to try to lasso is going to be difficult. You mentioned earlier, like having the illusions to
mini disjoint.
Yeah, you make it so you have to retarget. That's quite annoying. Yeah. But I think the more important thing for EG is just maintaining vision control at this stage. Like when you're playing against this many blinks, you need to make sure that you're very diligent about your dewarding. And if you look at the map right now, there's only one ward in the map from Cloud9, and it's a river ward. So it's not like they can see everything that's going on. And they're looking for some jumps here, and they're checking Roshan just to be sure, because they saw the D ward come out from EG, and they actually have a gem too.
Yep.
But the vision war is, I think, almost more important than anything else right now. And EG are winning it slightly. Like, I wouldn't say that jungle ward is necessarily that useful, given their current position, but it does let you be a little bit more safe about farming. And if you keep out, like, middle lane, you keep out bottom lane, it means that anytime you take an engagement, there's, like, at the very least, if it goes poorly, it's not going to be like a net loss. So you're not going to lose Roshan and a tier 2. You might lose one or the other, but you won't lose both. So I think that EG are playing it pretty well right now.
Yeah, and you can see that Cloud9 is fighting for that vision as well, the Batrider with the... It looks like they're going to make a jump earlier. Unfortunately, Batrider teleported into sniper vision. It's a game of you TP my lane, I'll TP away.
Pretty much. I mean, they have to play for the late game.
Yep.
A bloodlusted sniper with 4 or 5 items is pretty damn terrifying.
What is Sniper's next item? Are we seeing a damage item like a Maelstrom,
I
Butterfly,
really think it has
Gesso?
to be a damage item. I think, like, crit is... I don't know if he has the attack speed for crit. Maybe with Bloodlust he does.
I think the next item
if he has
shouldn't be crit.
Bloodlust, maybe MKB, maybe crit. Like MKB, because the BKB he has was bought so early that it's going to be down to 5 seconds before the end of the game.
Right.
So,
speaking of BKB, Envy has one too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I like that one.
I actually do like it quite a bit.
You just go in and be like, hey, focus me. Oh, they see Fear. Fear, get off your ultimate. A triple BKB comes out. He gets Reaper Sight, but he doesn't get the kill. They prevented the ultimate. That's big. PPD on the right side. He's also going to get dropped. And it looks like they're going to chase for a little bit more. Pablo's going to run away, not using his BKB yet. The blink forward, forcing out the BKB. And so does the Atos Universe trying to TP out. And Disruption's going to cancel that TP. They're just getting run down. And that's the 5 blink dagger doing a lot of work.
Yeah, you get 1 kill, turns into 2 more quite easily. Zai, he actually steals the Reaper Sight, and he kills Bone 7 with it.
Oh my god, that's
He's
90 seconds.
There.
Manta's gonna debuff the Atos, and they're gonna just keep going in. They're like, yo, Sniper, you don't do any damage. We'll trace you into the base. I don't know about this one. They have Atos again.
They got Atos, yeah. He's dead. The chase is real. Buyback from
Sniper,
Universe.
though.
He's got a nice path.
Sniper,
and
though.
He's probably going to be dying for this.
Oh,
he got the kill. The
Sadist?
Sadist heal. He's still alive.
The
The Manta
illusions.
images.
Okay, pulse.
Oh, maybe not. PPD.
Oh, the fissure.
He gets fissure.
Blink. Oh
my god.
He does have TP.
Me?
He'll have blink in about...
Yeah, but do they know he doesn't have a TP? That's the thing.
They're TPing right there. They're TPing right there. The courier's gonna come in to cancel the blink, and now Envy's trying to fight. Well, he's dead.
Oh my god.
What a clowning game.
Actually dead. Why did they chase to the tier 4s, man?
Fear even gave him the I'm not sure if that was necessary, but okay.
Well, he actually wasn't level 16 when he used it too, so it's a 2-minute cooldown instead.
Well, I don't think we're gonna see a fight. Oh, I mean, we might actually.
Oh my god, they could have just gotten the tier 2 so easily. That was so YOLO.
I don't know what about the chase.
After they killed Zai, they had 5 heroes. Well, no, 4 heroes alive, because Bone 7 died to the Reaper Scythe. But they had 4 heroes alive, and they're like, dude, let's kill Arteezy. It'll be fun. That was a James move right there.
That's going to come back to bite them, because Arteezy is back in 8 seconds. They either need a buyback or this Roche is gone. And having Sniper with the Aegis is kind of a big deal.
That was some 322 right there, I gotta say. Okay, being a Cloud9 fan, what is your opinion on EE Sama and actually always getting picked here? This is a serious throw.
I mean, being a frequent watcher of Cloud9 games, I would say this does not surprise me at all, in the slightest. So there's that.
So you're immune to what you just saw?
Yeah, it's like,
It's basically you're desensitized, like the internet has desensitized most of us.
It's like the sun came up on the east side today, again. No surprise.
Oh my god. All right, so Arteezy gets Aegis, even though Cloud9 are still ahead by a pretty wide margin. Like, you can see it for the net worth even.
I don't think this is a 10,000 net worth game. With Sniper getting the Aegis, I say this is like 2-3K. One fight decides it.
Yeah,
Really.
of course. When you get to this stage in the game, it's all about who takes a team fight and who actually executes, right?
Right.
Like Universe is going to have a Hex and what, 1,300 gold, which is pretty big for him. Sniper is working on his damage item, obviously. And we don't know what it's going to be yet. He's sitting at 2,400. I'm assuming it's MKB. I think that's probably the most stable choice. Crit is obviously still good. And with Bloodlust, he should deal a pretty reasonable amount of damage.
And there's that blink on Venno you talked about.
Yeah. The blink is, I think, the necessity to make sure that your ulti is good. Because even though EG don't have a frontline hero, if the fight lasts for like 15, 20 seconds, which I think is a pretty decent
They've been
time.
lasting that long.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if you have your ulti taking that whole time and you hit targets that aren't the Brew and the Necro, those heroes are more than likely going to be dead.
Okay.
Especially if Bone 7 pops BKB, or Mask of Madness even, because he has one now.
Right. How effective are the Radiant BKBs are? Now, BKB doesn't remove the
It
Venno
doesn't do
ulti.
anything to Venno ulti anymore. So
Right.
basically, if you have BKB, the ulti still hits you. If you get hit by the ulti and then BKB, the ulti stays on. It just doesn't do damage until the end of the BKB. So
And
no matter
the BKBs
what you
are
do,
pretty low now.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
So you're negating probably about a third of the damage from the ulti.
Which is not
actually,
too bad.
Heavy's is still 9 seconds.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
okay, they're actually all really high still.
yeah. Now the thing is, it's not just you negating the damage. That means Envy's, giving your team death pulses throughout as well. So there's like a lot more survivability. But yeah, you're right. As the game drags on and the BKBs are getting lower, that's where we see Venno getting more destructive. I'm surprised to see that Cloud9 just doesn't have a mech pipe of any sort of those like team items. But on a second look, who's really to carry them apart from the Necro, and he's not getting it.
I think honestly, you could build pipe on anyone on Cloud9. Like Pilot I could make it for crying out loud. It's not a matter of who makes it at this point because it's not like anybody like has mana issues or anything, right?
Right.
Like it's almost 40 minutes in. What he lasted a creep. All right. Bone 7. But I don't know. It's really hard to say because you look at Cloud9's lineup and you say to yourself, okay, if they get one good initiation, they land a Reaper Scythe on an important hero like Fear or Arteezy, right? I mean, even Universe.
Sure.
Getting any of those heroes is going to be good.
Well, I think you put a much higher price on Fear and
of
Arteezy
course.
because the high ground defense, they are kind of the.
Dude, Macro Pyre is legit.
That's one wave.
You throw it down.
That's
it's
one wave.
literally hot lava.
Venomancer is like all the waves are defended. Yeah,
This is
there's
big
the
too,
Hex.
though. Hex means that if the Panda blinks in, he could potentially die before he spawns.
Well, he's gonna
Unless
blink in
he
with BKB.
pre-BKBs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you should do.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't, man. A lot of people feel confident. It's like, no, man, I got that trigger finger. Especially when you know or don't know that the opponent has a Hex yet.
Fair enough.
Like, if they don't see Universe's Hex, he might feel confident enough to blink in without doing
Universe is
BKB.
hiding right now. Universe does have a blink himself.
Oh,
Meanwhile, it looks like
figured out.
Necrophos has picked him up. That is 90 seconds.
90 seconds, no buyback.
Here's the thing, though. They have Aegis. Do you still push?
Well, I think you do. And a 4v5, when really all you had to expend was 2 relatively low cooldown ultis, you still have Echo. You still have Split as well.
Okay.
So I think it's fine.
I think you definitely go for these tier 2s.
Yeah. Universe, though, being very annoying. Just going to cut the creep wave. He's going to get disrupted, though.
Ooh, the
This is a
blinks.
5 blink team. He actually misses the enchant
Purge.
totem. Aoi using it a little bit too soon. Won't matter, though.
Okay.
They get the kill. Okay, so that was kind of like a we really don't want to get pushed in play, and let's try to cut the creep wave and be a little bit cheeky.
He delayed the push for about 30 seconds, although, Envy going forward. And there's that MKB.
Yeah. I think MKB is, again, the most stable choice for damage items when you don't want to have to worry about being hazed by the Brewmaster.
It used to be so good when you had MKB and headshot procs. The mini stuns were real.
It was actually insanely frustrating. If you had enough attack speed, you basically were perma-stunned.
Yeah, you were bashing them, essentially. What do you think about Deso as an item choice? Not particularly in this game, but in general on Sniper.
I think it's really good if you're
Oh
consistently
my
able to
god, he
pressure.
found one, but he's actually taking so much damage. Disruption is going to save him. Another Reaper Scythe's going to bring Zai out of the fight for a long time. Aoi's in the fight, but he's actually going to die to the Sniper. A couple more right click. Yeah, look at him just going so far. The Purge is going to go on PPD.
The damage.
Yeah, the damage is real, man. Look at how far they're getting hit. Oh my god, the Bloodlust. Everybody blinks home.
All right, well, Aegis down.
Yep.
Just faded at the end of that fight, so Arteezy not going to have immortality anymore. And they defend again. So they lost a tier 2 tower. They lost Universe, and I think Fear was the one who got Reaper Sight to start the whole situation where Cloud9 were able to push anyway. So all in all, it wasn't a complete disaster. Still giving away some to Cloud9, but every time they defend like that, I think it still makes it a little bit harder to go high ground. I mean, Brewmaster split does fall off quite a bit, especially when you don't have Ags.
He's going for the aura build. It depends on how the focus goes, right? If RTZ says, all right, you know what, I'm going to focus down your Wind Panda, your Fire Panda, is that actually what he should do? Or should he just ignore it?
I think you attack whatever is closest at this point. Like if you just
everybody's close to him. I mean, he's sniper.
Well, to be honest, he was sitting at what, tier 4s there?
Yeah, he was.
And the rest of the team was hitting sitting behind the racks.
He was hitting the Bat Rider and he was hitting the Earthshaker.
Yeah. I think honestly, if you can hit them, then you hit them. If you can hit a hero, then you hit the hero.
Okay.
I think it's all about positional play. So you have to stay as far away as possible, deal what damage you can. Don't put yourself in a situation where the Bat Rider could potentially go on you, because he's the main threat to RTZ is the Bat. I mean, the Earthshaker is like, okay, whatever. The Brewmaster split, you just BKB and walk away. Mm-hmm. So the only person that he really has to worry about is the Bat. If he sees Bone 7 go in, then he can just go ham. Like, he can go on whoever he wants.
So when it comes to base defense situations, you don't even hit creeps. Essentially, you just wait for your wards, your other heroes to hit.
And you shrapnel spam.
Yeah, ideally, you just don't even let the Bat see you. And just stay as far back as possible, right?
Yeah, it's going to be hard, though, because it's very easy for Bone 7 to go up into high ground, like on the sides of the trees and things like that. Mm-hmm. You see some aggressive warding coming out from Cloud9 as well.
I mean, at the same time, if you do go in, like a Yules into a Ice Path or just like a Telekinesis, essentially mean you could be dead.
Yeah,
because there is so much damage. So
I'm not saying it's not risky. I'm just saying that if he wants to initiate, that's what he has to do.
He does have a Shadow Blade, so the fact that he could kind of invis in might help a little bit.
Yeah, it's a nice choice when you have full map control. Like, Shadow Blade is an item that you basically never get over Blink unless you're in this situation where the opponent does not have any outer tier towers and you want to try to, like, you don't want them to farm, right? Well, so having the Shadow Blade is just saying, if you're solo, I will pull you, like, 2,000 range and you're going to die.
EG is farming pretty aggressively in enemy jungle right now.
But they're farming as 5.
Yeah. They have a gem on PPD. I think that was actually Cloud9's gem. I'm not sure on that one. Cloud9 did have a gem. I'm not sure.
It is their gem. Yeah. They both have gems.
Okay.
PPD has one, Paladai has the other.
The two poor supports.
Speaking of not poor, Universe just the richest Jakiro every single game.
I think it's very easy for Jakiro to get farmed. I've been having a lot of pleasure to play Jakiro. And I say, guys, I'm going to support, right?
Oh, refresher on Envy.
Ooh, that's...
That double Scythe, double BKB, double Atos.
Let's be real here. Double Atos is what makes the...
Double Atos.
Slow 2 people at once.
So good.
Yeah, Jakiro, you dual breath, and then you liquefy a wave, and it's all yours.
Yeah, the nice thing about Jakiro, too, is that his mana cost is not really that high.
Yeah.
And Liquid Fire is free, so you can actually jungle with him if you don't have anywhere else to farm and just spam Liquid Fire. Looks like both teams trying to find picks here. And I mean, both insanely obvious, to be fair. Like, look at EG's side of the map. They have 2 lanes across the river and 1 lane bottom that's outside of the base. So I think this is more or less expected from Cloud9. I'd say they have the advantage in terms of position here, too. The only problem is that Bone 7's Firefly is not going to be up.
Yep. But they did do a ton of damage to this tier 4.
They might even kill it before they get here.
Yeah, they will. Gale's going to hit. Glyph is going to get forced out.
That was a waste. That was really a waste of Glyph. I mean,
well, they want the tier 3 tower, I guess.
They can
back off.
Deny it, I
Actually,
guess.
Bone 7 ports to the mid lane. They want to cut somebody off. They're going to go right on Universe. The question is, who's going to be the follow-up? They blink in. They're going to throw every damage spell, but the Yule Scepter is going to bring him up. The curse not going to hit. Actually, he just dies. Reaper Snipe's going to get stolen. PPD, is he going to get Reapered? No, they're not going to focus. They're not going to waste a Reaper on him. They're not going to focus on Zai. Here comes Fear. Fear blinks in and drops an ult, but doesn't hit on too much of anybody. Sniper's just running away, but he's going to get Cyclone up in the air. That's really the fight. E's now a little bit out of position. He's going to use a Reaper Snipe. Fear is gone for 97 seconds. Sniper is the only person alive, and he's still got his BKB. He's hitting on Paladai. Blinken, Echo, Fissure, everything onto Pablo, but they don't have another Reaper Scythe. Pablo pops his BKB. He's hitting on Paladai. Paladai should be fine. He's going to live through the assassinate. He will be able to blink out, I think. Meanwhile, Sniper, he buys back after dying. Holy shit, that team fight was absolutely crazy.
That was such a clowny fight from EG. Like, Fear blinked in, hit absolutely nothing with his ulti.
Yep.
Galed the Earth Panda that is immune to magic, that doesn't get galed when you gale it, and then died. Like, I don't even know. Like, the initiation for Bone 7 was really nice because he TP'd out of vision, right? Because it's nighttime.
Right.
He went in, got Universe straight away. They commit to a hero that they cannot save because he was already soul catchered. And when that happens, the combo is almost a guaranteed insta-kill. When he got out from the Yules, he just instantly died.
Yep.
So, I mean, at that point, EG should have just ran in the first place. But
Well, 5 blink, right? I mean, Sniper thought he was safe. He was hitting on the high ground with BKB at the ready, but Aoi literally went from tier 2 to base with 4-staff blink and Echo Slam. I mean,
well, he did it to stop an assassinate. Because Arteezy was assassinating. I don't remember who it was, but
I just think that when you have like, all right, I'm Sniper, I have 800 range. By the way, Arteezy's not hitting Roche because he's standing at the edge. Okay. When you're trying to play Sniper and there's like 4-staff Yules on 3 or 4 of the enemy heroes, it's just so impossible to play against. Oh my god, the initiation coming in from Bone 7. Well, they drop PPD on the high ground and PPD is dead. Well, Pablo is trying to hit people, but I'm not sure if he's hitting them fast enough. Echo Slam's going to come in, Pablo's going to hit. And meanwhile, the initiation coming from the Panda, Pablo, no buyback, he's gone. Zai is dead as well. He's going to force off on the high ground, but a second Rebirth Scythe is waiting for him. If they want to even use it, no, they don't.
okay.
Yeah.
They both blink into trees. But, I mean, this should be not necessarily game, but it should be Roshan at the very least. Or if they want, they can go for the base because the middle racks are exposed. Or they can just chase Fear. That Napalm did not see him. Are you serious? Wow. Okay. The unlock
see
is
him
real.
now.
Now he knows.
Okay.
He's got Firefly again.
Okay.
He's going to eat a ulti here, and he's just going to TP away. I think it's a fair call. But, I mean, Cloud9 are going to get Roche out of this for sure. And how nice of EG to get it low for them.
What would you say is the reason why Fear hasn't been getting good ults off? Is it the fact that
That last one was just like okay, we're
spite
losing
one, right?
the fight really hard. Let's just try to make something happen. And he blinked in. He didn't even hit Envy. Like, I don't know what he hit, to be honest.
So it's just poor play from Fear's part?
At least in that particular engagement, I think that maybe he had just kind of committed to the fact that they weren't going to win the fight. And they were just like, okay, I'm just going to try to ult something.
Throw my spells.
Yeah.
By the way, Envy's going bootless.
Hey, man, you don't need boots when you can blink.
Fair enough. And you have Atos, man. That's your gap closer.
That's true.
And you're going to focus on the Raxus. Initiation going to come on the Midnight Blink into a disruption.
He disrupted himself.
Yeah, that's...
Pylai die, please. He gets the demonic purge off and just dies.
Okay.
But I mean, that's space. Racks down.
That's some elaborate way to create space. Here comes Bone 7.
Nice lasso to stop the follow-up from Universe. Fear, Soul Catcher, going to be forced to drop another ulti. Only hitting at BKB units. Aoi actually taking some damage from him as well.
Oh my god.
Reaper Scythe onto Zai. He's gone. That's a double kill for Envy. Almost a triple. Bone 7 actually picks up his own double. Team wipe, and the GG comes out from EG.
What a game.
I mean, let's be honest. When we started the game with a 5 versus 5 in the jungle, and what, 3 heroes died? And then
it was one to two.
deny.
Yeah.
The first blood went to Bone 7. Then there was another hero who dropped, and then Zai killed himself to Roshan to get back to base before anything really happened.
Yep.
And I think that EG's draft, they had a really good opportunity to make things happen early, and they did. They killed the tier 1s fairly quick. You know, you have Jakiro, you had Plague Wards, you walk up the towers, you kill them. But as we mentioned in the beginning of the game, it's like once the Blink Daggers come out, all of a sudden you have team fight potential that you can't deal with. I mean, how are you supposed to deal with like Blink Brew? When Necro actually got his Blink, that was a really big turning point too, because that was the first Roshan, and PPD got caught immediately. And Envy
was that the one he bought back? And
yeah,
then
when he bought
the
back
fight?
and they pushed the tier 2.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so he got like Necro ultied because of the Blink Dagger that he didn't know that they had, and just immediately dropped. And then he had to buy back for the ensuing fight. They get a tier 2 out of it, but at that point it's like, okay, well, our sniper has Manta BKB. So where is our damage at that point?
Yeah, I'm not sure if because he was hitting for 200 with the Alpha Wolf.
Yeah, but that was before he even had Manta. I think.
Yes,
That was Yasha, Dominator,
and a BKB. And a face. Yeah. I think the turning point was where 2 people got picked off, and then 3 EG members had no vision.
Oh, that's
so decided to stay to fight. I think that fight not only did it give Roche like a lot of map control and a lot of farm. Also, I think Bone 7 like he had a blink, and then looked again he had a 4-staff, and then looked again he had a BOT and a Mask of Madness. So I was like, where is all this item coming from? So I think everybody played well. There was, I think that fight for EG at the up the Roche is where they lost it. But that Cloud9 dive, remember? They dived like tier 4.
Tier 4 dive. That was really, to be fair, they were so far ahead that that dive didn't even matter.
It could have mattered.
Really were. It could have.
It gave Sniper the Aegis afterwards as well. So I thought the game was a game again.
But the 5 blinks is just too strong. Yeah. Like, honestly, they didn't have any heroes to necessarily peel after BKBs come out. Like, who is supposed to get heroes off the sniper? Arteezy even lived through some of those fights.
Yeah.
And he still couldn't do enough damage to kill anyone. So I feel like execution-wise, A little bit lackluster from EG. Cloud9 played well, though,
Yeah.
just outside of the one dive.
Yeah, I think the great thing is we have 2 more games coming up. This is not a
Yeah.
best of 3 series, it's 3 best of 1. So 2 more Cloud9 EG games coming up, and hopefully they will be as good as this one. We'll take a short break, but we'll be back eventually.